What's happening, Carolina fans? Welcome to Two Fans in the Stands, a podcast related to all things Carolina Panthers and North Carolina Tar Heels. I'm your co-host Tony.
And I'm your co-host CJ.
Let's go. CJ, what's happening with you, cuzzo?
Another day, man. Another preseason W.
Hey, I'm so happy that we have finished the preseason on a winning note. This was the preseason finale for the Panthers. Give me your overall impression of the game.
My overall impression of the game, it was good. I think this was a
Okay.
good way to segue into the regular season. I like what I saw from the first team offense. I like what I saw from the first team defense. Let's just hope that when we get all our starters back in healthy, ready to go. Let's just hope it transitions. But Baker looked good. He looked like he had command and control of the offense. The defense looked stout. Derek Brown, as Steve Smith called him, was a dump truck. Just
Right,
mauling
right.
his way through that offensive line. Matt Ioannidis looked good. I love their that kind of volleyball turnover where they did the bump set spike and Jeremy Chin,
No,
caught the
you did.
interception. Yeah, well, I mean that's what the commentator said. And when
That's
we heard
basically
that,
what
I
it
was
was.
yeah, we heard that. Me and my wife was like, "Oh yeah, that was pretty nice." I was like, "Yeah, that was pretty good." But but yeah,
Bump
our
set
defensive
spike.
back, yeah, bump set spike. But our defensive backs, they look good. They look like they had everything under control. But yeah, I that was a good game, and I'm trying to keep my optimism and my trying to keep my optimism to a low because I don't want to get excited and get disappointed, but I'm just trying to take every week, one week at a time, and just hope that this continues from week to week. And give me your thoughts on the game.
Me personally, I was happy with the overall performance of the team. Although we went up against the second team from Buffalo, I was still impressed with what I saw from the offensive line, in particular, Ike Ekwano and Brady Christensen. Baker Mayfield was out there looking poised and like he had, command of the offense and was making quick and accurate decisions with the ball. Shy Smith continued to show why he is, why he's been the talk of training camp this year and seems to be becoming a favorite of Baker. I was also impressed with the defense as well. I definitely like what I saw from Derek Brown and Matt Ioannidis up front, providing some pressure up the middle. I like seeing C.J. Henderson and J.C. Horn get some playing time and coming out the game healthy, which I think that was pretty much number one on their list as well. I still feel we need some better depth up front going forward, but I was happy with the play of Bravion Roy and Marquand McCall. I felt they both need to be more consistent when they are in the game. The communication between Jeremy Chin and Xavier Woods looked good. I was happy to see that I was happy to see that on the back end, that communication between the two. And I hated to see the injury to Zane Gonzalez and Sam Donald. I hope neither is significant, but we'll wait and see. And I hope that they can come back pretty quick. But let's talk a little bit about the offense. What were your thoughts on the offense?
Baker Mayfield looked in control. He looked like he had everything down pat. Everything was going the way that they intended it to go. And
Right,
I'm intrigued to see once they start to, put a game plan together and, get a little exotic with the play calling. I'm
right.
intrigued to see, how that's going to look. Um, Shy Smith is really, I think he has taken the the advice and the tutelage that he's gotten from Steve Smith and other veterans, I think he's really, taking that personal, because
Yeah,
he really looked like he was, I don't want to say he got that dog in him, but
but
it
he
looks
looked
like
good
it's
out.
coming.
He
Yeah.
looked good out
It,
there though.
he did. And it was one play, it was like a third down, and I think it was third and long. I think it was 10. And he caught the ball about 2 yards short of the first down and muscled his way, for the first down. So
Right.
now if he can keep that up, for the rest of the season, that'll be great. Um, Offensive line. Icky's first two plays were kind of sort of iffy, but I'm just going to chalk that up to him still learning. But it seemed like
Why do you say
it
that? Because I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything wrong with his first two
his
offensive
his
plays.
his first two plays, the defensive end got around him really quick on both times on
Okay.
those first two plays. Now, mind you, they didn't get to Baker, you
Right.
know, but it was a quick like, hey, whoo, oh my bad, dad, he gone already, But like I said, after that, he cleaned up real nice. He looked a whole lot better, from then on. Brady
Okay.
Christensen, he looked good playing that left guard spot. He looked real good. That
Surprisingly,
whole left side of the
surprisingly
line.
good.
Yeah, and they didn't give up a sack until oh man, did Darnold didn't get sacked on that play. He got rid of the ball and then got rolled over, didn't he?
Yeah, because they neither none of the quarterbacks got sacked. We
Yeah.
the offensive line didn't give up a sack the whole
Okay.
game.
Yeah. And that's something I was very, very happy to see. But Brady Christensen did good. Moulton is still Moulton. As long as he continue to do that, I think we'll be good. Austin Corbett looked good on the right side of the line. Pat Eifman held up, surprisingly well. But I really do
Yeah,
want to
he did
see
all
surprisingly well. It can be one and the same.
right.
Depending on how you look at it. But
He
I'll be happy to see Brady Bozeman get healthy and
for
and
sure.
and see what he can do. Because I still think he would be an upgrade to Eiflon at that position. I still think he would be an upgrade.
Well, we're
Um,
definitely going to need him because I mean, you got to have that having that added beef up front. You know what I'm saying? You when you play a team like Tampa twice a year, you're
mhm,
going against Vita Vea, and he
yeah,
likes to, especially on a pass rush downs, he like to line up about a half a yard off the nose guard, and he just like the bull rush. You got
mhm,
to have somebody in the middle that can, handle that.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I can't wait to see what that offensive line is gonna look like once he gets back. Um, Running back situation, I I think that before the season's over, Foreman is probably gonna end up being that number two running back. We
Facts.
talked about this the other day. Chuba Hubbard's he's a good player, but I'm tired of seeing him going out there and dropping passes. You
Talk
know what I
about
mean?
it.
I,
Talk
I'm
about
so
it.
sick of him dropping passes. So
The
sick
boy
of it.
from Canada, he still can't catch a cold.
Man, let me tell you, but I think he's gonna be a solid player for us. But I think more sooner than later, Deontay Foreman is going to be, right there as the backup to Christian McCaffrey. Especially down in the goal line. Because he did make a nice catch. When Baker threw that ball sort of behind him. He kind of caught it, right into the bend of his elbow almost.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of turned around to get it, but he brought it in and went in for the touchdown. But you know, I our passing game, you know, so far it looks good. Running game, a little bit more to be desired, but we are waiting on Christian McCaffrey to come back.
Yes, we are. Yes,
And
we are.
it's
Fully
still the
healthy.
preseason. Yeah,
Fully healthy.
fully healthy. It's still the preseason. We still haven't seen this offense turned up. I think they may have been at about 70-75. Against Buffalo. I can't wait to week one. Hopefully, we get them turned up to 100%. And then we'll see how it goes from there. But my overall impression of the offense, I like what I saw, and I hope that they can build on it. And
Yeah,
what was your overall impression of the offense?
for me, number one, I really love the command and poise, Baker showed in the offense. Like you said, he looked like he was in control. He knew what he was doing. He was making sharp decisions, sharp and quick decisions with the ball. He was 9 of 15 for 89 yards, two touchdowns, and no interceptions, of course, which is always a good thing. But of the six incompletions he had, three came at the hands of Chuba Hubbard. Like I said, who seems to me hasn't gotten better in the catch department.
Not at all.
It's like he is like, maybe I don't know if he's allergic to a jug machine, but they need to get him one. If that was CMC in there, those would have been easy completions.
Remember that
Now,
ball he threaded to him on the sideline, and Steve Smith was like, "Yeah, we all know McCaffrey would have caught that."
right, yeah, yep, and he's exactly right. Sam Darnold showed why he is the backup, in my opinion. His feet looked like they would never settle in the pocket, which led to hesitancy in the pocket. He was still 5'11 for 49 yards, no touchdowns, but no interceptions as well. He did have the rushing touchdown in the third quarter as he moved the offense, up and down the field. Looks like PJ Walker just might make the team after all.
Man,
Yeah, tell me about it. I hate that he has to make the team based off of the injury to another player. But that's
yeah,
how it is sometimes. You have to take advantage of your opportunities when they are presented to you. And right now, there's no better time than the present. You know.
yeah,
He was 8 of 10 for 50 yards, no touchdowns, but again, no interceptions. He looked to me like he was taking what the defense gave him and not trying to be a hero and force the ball downfield when scrambling. Which that's what, you know, one of his major knocks has been on him is he's always trying to do too much and it seems like when he starts scrambling, it's like he's looking for a home run ball instead of just checking it down. Whether you get a
hmm
first down or not, or just throw it out of bounds, live to see another day.
yeah.
You don't always have to be the hero,
Especially this preseason, because
right.
I think he was, because this is crazy how this is turned around, for him.
Exactly.
2 weeks in a
Exactly.
row, the two quarterbacks above you get hurt, and now you're bumped in number two. Well, like I said, I think he was pushing a little bit too hard, to what you just said, but yeah, hopefully he can calm himself down now.
Yeah. But like you said, this game here showed what I believe that Matt Rule has been trying to get from him, and what also Ben McAdoo wanted to see from him. Just to be able to manage and hold the offense down while you in the game. I wish we saw this level of play from him every time he was on the field. It might be a little too late for this, but you never know. The offensive line looked really good, although it was against the second team defense. Icky looked as if he is starting to correct his pass pro set. That's one of the things that I harped on about him last week, and I wanted to see what type of improvements did he make, within this, from last week to this week. And I saw that he had a much better kick step and looked more balanced while getting his hands more on the inside and not leaning on the defender as much. He has a tendency to uh to lean on the defender when the defender gets into him. And against a savvy defensive end, they know how to manipulate that, and next thing you know, you off balance, and you looking around like which way did he go? You know what I'm saying? So I was
Yeah,
just
I
happy
got you.
just to see him get his hands in front of him because he's strong enough to shoot his hands. Shoot his hands, get the defensive lineman off of him, keep him off of him, stay balanced, and keep the defender in front of him. So I was definitely happy to see that from him. Now I'm looking for him to continue to get better and consistent in his pass pro. The
Mm-hmm.
communication between him and Brady Christensen looked really good as well, but it needs to continue to grow and get better, going forward. The running
Yeah.
backs and the wide receivers looked average at best. Chuba Hubbard looks to me like he might be falling behind Deontay Foreman for the back of running back spot. Because, like I said, he can't catch a damn cold if he tried. You know, but hey, when you hand him the ball, he could do some good things, but you cannot depend on him to catch a damn cold. That in today's
Not at all.
NFL, if you're not a back that can catch out of the backfield, ain't too many opportunities going to be there, for you. You know,
Mm-mm.
but,
Nope.
he has really showed me that he cannot be trusted in third down passing situations. you know. Shy Smith, on the other hand, I believe he has played himself into a starting role as a slot receiver, as a slot receiver, and possibly a punt returner. He had 3 catches for 32 yards and 1 touchdown. And if he continues to stay healthy, which I believe he will move into that number 3 receiving spot and show you the type of receiver that he was at South Carolina. So I'm really anxious to see what he's going to do going forward. Uh, Pretty much, I was happy I was happy with everything that I saw from the offense. Like I said, they were against the second team defense, but hey, it is what it is. You can only play you can only play against whatever's in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And take advantage of it. So I was
Yeah.
I
You
was
got you
I
got to
was
do better.
Yeah, pretty much overall with offense, I was happy with that. So let's just flip it to the other side and give me your thoughts on the defense. Did you see any improvement from last week?
Man, let me tell you. Let me peep over my notes here. Yes. No, there was a lot of improvement from last week. We had a lot of our starters in the game. I was happy to see JC Horn out there.
Right.
CJ Henderson, like you said, happy to see both of them get on the field, play, and get off the field, uninjured. Um, the defensive line pressure was good. You know, I really like seeing Derek Brown splitting double teams, and getting to the quarterback. Him and Matt
Facts.
Ioannidis kind of tag team and got a sack there in that first quarter.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
Frankie
Beautiful thing,
Louisville,
wasn't it? It was a
yeah,
beautiful
beautiful
thing.
thing. And Frankie Louisville, and I know he was filling in for Shaq in the middle linebacker, but he looked good. It's something about him. Something about him. Um, he just makes plays.
That
He's in
energy,
there.
man.
He has the
Energy
energy.
is his
He's
motor is
all
like
over the
nonstop.
place.
His
Yeah,
motor
it's
is like nonstop.
non-stop. you know. But yeah, the defensive line had good pressure. Secondary looked good. Linebackers were stout, for that first team defense. Like I said, we still missing a couple people, but I think they look good overall. We got to the quarterback, we got sacks, we didn't give up a whole bunch of plays, we got stops. Now what most impressed me, and it wasn't until later on in the game, um,
Okay.
it was kind of it really warmed my heart to see that we had 2 fourth down stops in the red zone,
Yes. Yes.
twice. And like
Yes.
I said, that was against, who was that? Matt Barkley and the third team offensive line or whatever for Buffalo.
Yeah.
But it's still, I'll take it wherever I can get it, because they had just showed a graphic right before that first one, and it was like our red zone defense in the preseason, 4 trips and we give up 4 touchdowns, so it was 100% chance of the team scoring. not 100% chance, but they scored 100% of the time against us in the red zone. And I was
Right.
sitting and I was just like, Lord, please, like at least give up a field goal. We've got to start somewhere with a bend but don't break kind of policy. You know,
Right.
I
Right.
know we can't, we get down there and we're gonna give up touchdowns. Everybody's gonna give up touchdowns. But last year it was almost like a guarantee. You get in the red zone versus the Panthers defense, it's a wrap. It was
Yeah.
just a wrap. We were decent the rest of the field, the other 80 yards of the field for the most part. You know,
Right.
second ranked defense, but as far as yards allowed. But when it got to the red zone, we were terrible. I mean, terrible. And like I said, I know it was against the third team offense and whatnot, but I was so happy to see us stop somebody in the red zone and stop them twice. You know,
Yeah. You,
so
me and you both.
yeah, I, I
Me and
was
you
I was
both.
so happy. And then again the guy we like from Kentucky, Marquand McCall,
Marquand
he's
McCall.
still showing flashes. You know,
Yes,
I hope
sir.
I hope that he can make this roster. I really do. And I think it's going to be a long shot, but we'll see once they trim it down to 53. But he showed good pressure, good strength. Being the disruption. Trying to get in there and make plays. He was a big part of both of those fourth down stops. I do believe they ran the ball both times and we stopped them. But
Yeah. I believe he got a sack on one of them.
mhm.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he got a sack on one of them, and he caused some major disruption up the middle on the
Mhm.
second one. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, and then like we were saying before with the bump set spike interception, I thought that was real. That was a thing of beauty to me. Who was it? Gross Matos, as as I messed his name up last week, but he
Vitor
had the tip. Yeah,
Matos.
he had the tip, and then Ionitis went up and batted it down, and then good old Jeremy Chin came in with the interception. But
What you call it? Dig, set, and spike.
bump set spike.
Yeah, bump, set, spike.
Now that if anybody listening is a volleyball player and I messed that up, I apologize. But but I'm gonna
Right,
just go with
right,
with, with that for
right.
now. But but yeah, I was pleased with the defense. Um, like I said, I still think it was a lot of hey, you go take your man. We're gonna see what we're gonna do with it. So I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic about how this defense is going to look in the regular season once we start game planning, once we start coming up with schemes, once they start identifying what they need to do when certain teams line up in different formations for different down and distances. So,
Right.
but overall, I was happy. What were your thoughts about the defense?
Defensively, I was happy with the overall play of the first team defense. Like we was talking about earlier. I was definitely happy with the front four, especially Derek Dump Truck Brown and Matt
Dump
Debo
truck.
Ionitis. Yeah.
What you call him? Debo Ionitis?
Yeah, Debo Ionitis. That's my
I
name. I'm
like it.
sticking with it. I'm sticking with
Hey,
it.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, but Deep Derek Brown looked like the Derek Brown of old coming out of Auburn. Man, he was violent with his hands and consistently got pressure up the middle and was causing havoc. Now, in my opinion, he still was playing a little too high, and I did see a couple times when they try to run double teams at him, or when they did run double team at him, he got turned sideways. So I just like to see him just stay with his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage and continue to use his hands. But yeah, he showed you why he was the first round draft pick out of Auburn. He looked just like the Derek Brown I remember that played his junior and senior year at Auburn. I was so happy to see that, and I just hope that is something that's going to stay consistent throughout the year. Because this is a pivotal year for him, and I hope he takes full advantage of it. The defense as a whole caused an interception and got a couple of three and outs. I was also happy with the communication on the back end, and it looked really good. I think Xavier Woods and Miles Hartsfield consistently showed you why you need them on the field. They are both smart, fast, and aggressive, players. Brandon Smith continues to shine, but he arm tackles way too much to be 6'4", 200, 250-pound linebacker. We've had this conversation multiple times. He needs to, coming out of high school, he was a 5-star recruit when he was, going to Penn State. And even at Penn State, even though he played good, they still didn't feel like he matched the potential that he showed, we know, coming out of high school. And I just hope that he just matches that potential at some point. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that light bulb turns on and his play matches his size. Right now he don't play like a 6'4", 250-pound linebacker. But
Nah.
this is his rookie year, so he definitely got plenty of time to grow, and he got some veteran players ahead of him, and that's probably consistently in his ear, telling him about the things that he need to work on. Marquand Big Snack McCall continues to shine. That's our boy right there out of Kentucky.
Big
Hey,
snack.
for him to be 360 plus,
He can move.
I don't know the exact numbers, but I know he's 360 plus. Hey, the brother is surprisingly quick off the snap. Like his
Mm-hmm.
first step to be that size is pretty quick.
Well, the
Um
Panthers have him listed as 6'3", 380.
uh, Yeah, I mean, like I said,
Hey.
I can't say that it's not. I know it ain't like no Derrick Brown 6'5", 330.
Yeah.
His 330 look different than Marquand McCall's 360, 370, whatever the number is. But I love his energy, and his
Mm-hmm.
production thus far has been consistent,
Yep.
and each week, he has one or two moments where he has shined. To me personally, he has outplayed Phil Hoskins. I believe Phil
Yes.
Hoskins is gonna get the boot, and he gonna end up taking Phil Hoskins' spot, because I do
Yes.
remember a couple weeks ago, um, they were saying, well, Matt Rule was saying pretty much that, we need some bigger bodies on the defensive front. And, you can't get any bigger than 360. I don't think. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you're going to find too many players out there bigger than Marquand McCall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, hey,
you have to go back to Vince Wilford.
right. Oh,
You know, and
now see,
he was a
now
man.
that's a good comparison when you just talking about just looking at the size, when you just talking
Yeah.
about just sheer numbers. But one thing about Vince Wilford, Vince Wilford was country strong. Vince Wilford go out there and bench press and start lifting four F-150s and pulling a couple tractor trailers and all that.
Uh-huh.
And he had some other kind of strength. He had that Reggie
Yeah.
White type of strength.
Mhm. But he was
But
athletic too for his size. He was
and
really
he was
athletic.
athletic. Yes. He was athletic. He was quick, strong, and you was not gonna move him. I don't care. You could sit in the center and both guards. Vince Wilford will look at you like, "Oh, this what we doing today? Oh, okay, I got you. Say no more. I got it.
Uh-huh.
Don't even worry about it, Bill. It's cool. It's cool. I got it over here." But yeah, I love me some Marquand McCall, man. I definitely love what I'm seeing out of the big fellow, and I just hope that he makes the roster and continue to get better, keep his energy level up, and continue to shine, man. That's what I'm looking for
Same here.
for him. So yeah, that was my thoughts on the defense. Pretty much against Buffalo, but
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about something that just transpired a couple nights ago. Our fantasy football draft.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, we had our first fantasy football draft for the two fans in the stands fantasy football league, and I think everybody came out of the draft. I would say pretty evenly because I saw people make some good picks, and you know there was definitely one or two picks that I wish I could have made, but I didn't make, and but I'm pretty happy with my squad. I'm pretty happy with my squad. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with mine too. There were quite a few times where we picked back to back. So when it flipped, I pick the first time I picked before you, and then the next round you pick ahead of me. There were quite a few
Right.
times where I was like, okay, well I'm gonna go ahead and grab so and so, and then you picked them up. So it was a few of those, but I'm
Oh,
pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with my squad.
were you sad?
No, not at all.
You wasn't sad?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I
Yeah.
thought you sent me a message was like, could I send you some tissue or something like that? That maybe I read it wrong, but I thought that's what came through
Nah, that
in
might
the
have been your
message.
future self sending you a message letting you know what to do when I beat you week one.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right.
All
Cool.
right, all right,
Cool.
all right,
Cool.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
listen. I still have that fire truck parked outside. Still ain't no water in it now. It still ain't
uh-huh.
no water in it. I'm just waiting to collect at the end of the season. So that empty space, that's where you could put the championship trophy and the banner, the potluck, whatever y'all got planned for me. You know, the
Yeah,
folding chairs and tables for the banquet,
if you mess
all
around
that.
and win this, I'm gonna send you a 5 gallon bucket full of water. Since you like to talk about fire trucks with no water, I'm gonna send you a big old 5 gallon bucket full of Dasani.
Hey, water is life, baby. Water is life. You hear me? Water is life. But listen, give me a quick overview of the next week's opponent.
You know what? Before we do that, I got to go back and mention somebody that I failed to mention for the
Okay.
offense. John Lovett,
Okay.
running back out of Penn State. I think
Oh
he did
yeah,
really
John Lovett, number
he did really
37.
good. Yep, he did really good. The game against Buffalo, and I just thought about that
Yes,
just
he
now. That
did.
he was on my mind to say something about him, and I forgot. But I wanted to go back and mention, he ran hard. He ran with conviction. He ran like he really wanted to make his team, and I think oh my goodness, he high jumped somebody, late in the game the other night. So he was out there trying to make plays, and
Yeah,
and,
he
and he
definitely
looked good.
Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely did. I think with the injury to Spencer Brown, I don't know how long he's going to be out, but it definitely leaves the door open for John Lovett. Even if he don't make the 53-man roster,
Hmm.
I believe that Carolina is going to want to at least have him on the practice squad.
Yeah, at the very least, the very least.
Right, right.
But okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to go back and mention that because I forgot to earlier.
Oh,
But
no problem, no problem.
looking forward to our week one opponent, Cleveland Browns. I think it'll be an interesting game. Um, I think it's all going to come down to how we keep control of Miles Garrett. Because that's a grown man right there. I think if we can keep him calm and keep Baker protected, I think we're going to have a good game.
Okay.
I really do. Now, mind you, Cleveland has a pretty good offensive line. They have a good run game, but I don't want to. I don't want to sound like I really believe that Carolina's just going to go out there and win, but Cleveland doesn't really, scare me that much. You know
Right.
what I'm trying to get at.
especially with
It's
Jacoby Brissett at quarterback.
yes, and I don't want to take nothing from that man because I thought he's been a decent quarterback his whole career. Who probably deserves a starting spot. But I mean, he's getting it now, but it's not going to last for long until Watson comes back. But yeah, I really think it's going to come down to the trenches on both sides, what our offensive line can do and what our defensive line can do, because
Right,
I think McCaffrey when he comes back. If he stays healthy, it's Christian McCaffrey. I ain't got too many worries about him. Um,
right.
our receivers, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Shy Smith, um, Terrace Marshall. If we have a Terrace Marshall sighting this year, he's kind of
Uh,
been just back in the back. The whole
Man, that
preseason.
dude is like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Like, He
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 just
sure is.
disappears on your
He
ass.
just
Like, damn.
disappeared,
Like,
gone.
dog. He played 69% of the snaps the other night and didn't even have one ball thrown to him. I'm like,
Yeah,
come on,
I had to
cuz.
double check and make sure he was actually in the game.
I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, yeah, he completely disappeared. But like I said, get McCaffrey back. We got our receivers. I think our receiving core is more than capable. And on the other side of the trenches, defensive line. I think if we can consistently get pressure, get up in Jacoby Brissett's face, make it uncomfortable for him. I think our linebackers and our secondary will do what they have to do. And
Right,
and hopefully that'll end up being a win for the Panthers. How
right,
about you?
right. Me, overall, I want to see continued growth of the offensive line as a whole, especially on that left side, with Icky and Brady Christensen. I want to see Baker continue to show poise and command of the offense and be able to move us up and down the field, on a consistent basis. And, I'm not going to act like he ain't going to throw no interceptions, but keep it to a minimum. I want the touchdown to interception ratio to
Exactly.
be a lot better than what we have had over the past 4 or 5 years. I also want to see a better production from our top four receivers and tight ends. I know you know, Ian Thomas being hurt pretty much during preseason. Colin Thompson, really he's been hurt pretty much. Sullivan, I really
What?
don't see a need to continue, with four or even five tight ends. I think for the season, I think we just might end up with three, maybe four because of the injuries that we have had. You know what I'm saying? But once those guys come back healthy, especially Ian Thomas and Tommy Tremble, I think most of the focus from the tight end position is going to be on those two guys, and just better production from our wide receivers. Again, like I said, I think DJ Moore is going to be DJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, I don't know what's going on with Robert Anderson this preseason, but it's like he just been like in and out, and I want to see Robbie get the kind of production that he had from 2 years ago, and even that he had from his time in the Jets. But
Hmm.
one thing that I always felt like Robbie lacked, and he hasn't really shown that much improvement of, is his route running. It's like 9 times out of 10 when you see Robbie Anderson getting the ball, most of the time is on a deep post or is on a skinny post. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't really see him beating press man off the jam, off the line of scrimmage, or beating the jam or anything like that and getting open. So I just want to see better production from him. Uh Defensively, I want to see the unit continue to gel as one and continue improvement with the communication on the back end. That was something that has been lacking the past couple years, the communication. So there we have a lot of guys that's been there for a while now, so I think the communication should get better. I want to see more pressure up front from the defensive tackles, and I want to see our DBs stay healthy and be productive. They have the ability to be one of the top units in the league in the turnover department, but you have to be healthy and available in order to do it. So
Yes. Yes.
that's
I wholeheartedly agree with that last statement. I think the Panthers defense has the word that you don't like, the potential to be a really, really solid unit, and not just from a second overall defensive aspect of of the yards we're giving up. Our defense was not the second best defense in the league last year by any
right,
stretch of the imagination. It was not. That's what the numbers
right,
said, but it was not. I, I
right.
I I really do believe that we have the potential to live up to that this year. So, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I do too. But like I always say, and like it's always said around the league, your best ability is availability. You know what I'm
there you
saying?
go.
So you have to be on the field and let your presence be felt and be known in order to
Hmm.
accomplish the goals that we have set out for the team.
Yep, I agree.
Well, that will bring us to the end of the Carolina Panthers 2022 preseason as we finish the preseason 2-1. We will be back in 2 weeks as our Panthers take on the Cleveland Browns week 1 here at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Until then, Panther fans,
Keep pounding. Thank you for listening to Two Fans in the Stands podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and listen to us on your favorite podcast apps such as Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Tune in next week for another episode.